Okay, I just wanted to demonstrate what a blank course looks like and go through the various parts. It's much easier to look at a blank course where it's not all cluttered with assignments and things, just to go over the basic anatomy of that course. So right now I'm logged in as a teacher, and I've created this course at the Moodle demo site, and we'll be doing that with all of you later on. But this is the name of the site, so that's the sandbox site. If you have different languages installed or enabled in your site, they would be listed here. And this is this one particular site has 4 languages: English, French, Italian, and Japanese. And you could switch the language of the course. Now that just changes the navigation and the messages from the system. Of course, the content will be developed in whatever language the course developer created them in, or you as the teacher. Okay, let's look over to the other side of the screen, and this is my personal navigation menu, and this is new to 2.8. Certain themes in later versions of Moodle had something similar to this, but this is now built right into 2.8. So you usually have a user picture and your name, and it's a good idea to encourage students to upload a picture of themselves, because otherwise this is just an anonymous face. So I would encourage that. When you click this down, you've got My Home. My Home is just the place where all your courses are listed. It's like a page with that's just pertinent to you. Your profile, where you can edit your profile. Messages, these are personal messages back and forth, or from any other user. If you've got private files enabled at your site, that will give access to that. If they're using badges at the site, you can look at your badges, but I don't think that if that hasn't been used in your site, they'll just be empty. And of course, you can log out. Okay, let's look across the screen. We're going to go into a course right now. Let's look at blank weeks course. This is one of my only course, actually, and I just created it a few moments ago, and it's just a typical course. If your Moodle administrator hasn't changed any of the default settings, this is what you'll get when a new blank course is created. It's typically divided up into 10 sections, which if it hasn't been changed, is going to be automatically weeks. So I created it today. Now I've got the weeks. Over on the left hand side, we have the large name or the long name for the course. So if this was a very long name, it would appear here, if as opposed to what appears in this breadcrumb trail. And this breadcrumb trail is the short name. When you create a course, you'll see a place for a short name. That's what appears here, and a long name. This short name can be the same as the long name. It's just if it's something as short as blank weeks, no problem with that. Okay, let's look at the navigation panel. What the navigation panel is for moving around your course, and all of your other courses as well. So right now I can go back to some of the same things I had in my personal menu up here. I can go back to My Home. I can also go to site pages. These are things that are specific to the entire Moodle site that you have. So this would be things like blogs and site badges. Teachers and administrators and managers have access to site-wide notes. Students do not. And then tags, and of course a calendar. Okay, and again you can look at your profile, and it's the same as we have up here in the personal menu. And I'm not going to go through that. And your current courses that you have access to. Should have turned off my email, that's what that was. So right now I only have one course called Blank Weeks, and it uses the short name here. And I could look at the participants. I could look at the badges. I don't have any badges. General is this top section, the first section, where with no changes it always has a news forum. But that's where you just put things that are general to the whole course, generally resources and things that are not specific to any one topic or week. We'll go over some of course design a little bit later. Where am I? General. So that's all that. If I open that up, it's just got the news form and nothing else. Matter of fact, here's our 10 weeks. With if we open these up, we'll see that there's nothing in them right now. They're just blank. Haven't done anything. So we'll be looking at that a little bit later. And finally, at the bottom, we've got My Courses, and these are the courses you're in charge with. of. So, and all we have is this one course. So you're going to see a lot of repeated items as you go through to your courses. So if I had more than one course here, it would make sense to have this repeated. If I had 2 courses, it would be specific to the second course, because I've got my first course up here. So I can look at the second course I have. We'll look at that in a bit more detail later. And right at the bottom, you have an administration panel. And the administration panel allows you to change things that are specific to this context. In the context I'm in right now, I'm in my course. So I can use my administration panel to change things in the course administration. The first thing I can do if I want to make changes is turn editing on. I'm going to show you that later in the next little segment. I can edit the course settings. I can look at the users in the course, so the enrolled users. We'll go through all of this. We'll look at all of these menu items when in the next video segment. The other thing I can do is I can switch my role to any of the roles below me. Now sometimes the site administrator or manager will give you extra roles that you can switch to other than the ones below you. For instance, it'd be ridiculous to switch your role to a teacher, which is your current role, but a non-editing teacher is one that can go into your course and not make any changes, but they can grade students' work. We can talk about that later if you like too. I can change my role to a student and to a guest. Now a guest has to be that has to be enabled at your site and at the course level to have that role. It won't have any meaning. It will probably say guests not allowed in this course if I change that role. And then again I can change my profile settings again. Again, lots of places to do that. The one thing that you didn't see up here, I'm just going to make sure, no you didn't see that, as I look down, is there's this new item, that's activity reports. This is for the current user, so that's me. And I can look at today's logs, all logs, outline report, complete report. We'll look at those things later, but it's just I can see what I've done today, every day, and in different formats. You can play with that when we get to it. Okay, and down the middle is your sections, and in this case weeks. Typically you've got a search forums. We don't have anything but the news forum here, but search forums is a default block that is automatically installed. Now your administrator might have added some other default blocks, but search forums, if you have a discussion forum or many discussion forums, and say someone brought up the topic of poodle and you couldn't remember what discussion forum it was in and who mentioned it, if you type the word poodle in there and it was found in one of the course discussions, it would find that for you. Okay, latest news is just reflects what's usually the last 5 to 10 posts that happen in the news forum. And I rename all my news forums to announcements because that's what they are. They're class announcements by the teacher. So that's what latest news would be. It would be the posts, the last few posts that are in this news forum. And upcoming events, these are things with due dates on them or things in the calendar. So if you've got something that's been an event that's been put into the calendar, it'll appear in this menu. And if you've got assignments coming due or significant events in the course, they will be here. And of course, as a teacher, I can add a new event. And recent activity just shows all the changes that have happened since the last time you logged in. So that's just a basic overview of a typical blank course that's not been edited at all. And I'm going to stop that right now and go and show you a little bit about how to change your course.